Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Thursday evening. I hope we are all okay. I hope we're all right. I hope the day has treated you as well as it possibly could have treated you. In this video, we're talking about something that was actually brought up to me in a comment that I then went and found the podcast myself. And I want to talk about David Ornstein talking about how Spurs may have had potentially one of the best windows of all the Premier League teams. So we're going to be talking about that and kind of the gist of what he said. I'm going to talk about Tyrese Hall going out on loan this summer. We talk about a few more things. We're going to be talking about the schedule for the channel leading into a busy end of the weekend, obviously. So we talk about a lot of things. Just want to say that if you're watching this and you're new, subscribe. We're very close to 3,200 subscribers, which is pretty damn cool. I think we're like 17 or 18 away. So if we get there, that'd be a great end to my week. But yes, we've got plenty to talk about and get into more of a discussion-based video. So don't worry. All right. Brian Hill just scored. Come on, did he? Good on him. Good on him, Brian. Evening Spurs. Evening Richarlison. Late again. Ow, I've been outed. Less than a minute or two into my own stream, been outed by Richarlison for being late. Apologies for that, mate. Evening DS SMX10. Hello, mate. How are we? So yeah, plenty of good stuff to get into. Shubham from India, bro. Shout out. Well, I'm not sure I've said that right, but if I have, hopefully so. But yeah, let's jump in. Let's talk. And I'm going to start with Tyrese Hall because yeah, it came out earlier today from Alistair Gold that Tyrese Hall is available for loan ahead of the summer transfer deadline, should the right club come forward and guarantee minutes. Now, obviously, he showed some good flashes in pre-season, and then, you know, was kind of what you would call it in American football, a healthy scratch. So what I mean by that is someone who's fit but isn't going to play. And he was on the bench and didn't play in a few games. And I just kind of assumed he's probably not going to be around the first team this season, which I thought he might have been. But I think the emergence of Bergvall, and actually I think Spurs didn't want to sign Archie Gray this summer. I think Tyrese Hall would have been in the first team squad. But obviously with the emergence of Bergvall, Archie Gray signing and him doing as well as he has, I think that kind of put a nail in the coffin in for Tyrese Hall's first team or squad inclusion this year. I see him going out alone. I see it being a really good thing as well. I actually think it's invaluable. You know, George Abbott going off to Notts County. You've got Jamie Donnelly out at Leyton Orient. Another one here, obviously. It's only going to benefit us, you know, come, you know, a year or two's time when, you know, they are maybe in and around the first team a little bit more. And so, you know what? I'm happy for it. He deserves it. I have somewhat some breaking news on Lo Celso, which I'll come to in just a minute. You love this channel. Well, I appreciate it, mate. Evening, Martin. Martin, you still out in Lisbon, are you? Howdy group therapy. We need another. We need a winger. I'm not sure at the moment. You love my videos, though. I appreciate it, mate. Appreciate it. Afternoon, Kieran. How are you? Werner certainly looking worse by the day. We need a winger. Yes, agree, but we ain't got nobody more. Chiesa was our only option. Andy, we need defenders. We do need defenders. I agree there. Hey, Teddy, what have you missed? You've missed 3.5 minutes, mate. That's what you've missed. So there's that on Tyrese Hall. Let's talk about the somewhat breaking news on Lo Celso. No, he's not been sold before you are sitting there on the edge of your seat wondering if he has or not. Romano putting out literally within the last minute, Betis are still in talks with Giovanni Lo Celso. Negotiations are taking place, but Tottenham are not accepting current conditions of the deal. Interesting. I'd love, you know, this is always the thing. It's always then speculating. What does that deal look like? I mean, if we're not accepting it, there's a part of me that probably just goes, they're probably offering, even if it's like a loan deal, because I talk about regular, if someone just took him out on loan and did his wages, I think Spurs would do that move. I reckon they're doing probably one of those where they go, oh, yeah, we'll have him for a year. And then, like, you know, we'll pay like 30% of his weekly wage. And Spurs are going, no, you can have him, but, you know, you can go and have him. You can buy him, you know, or you're taking all of him, taking all the wages on. I think, look, I still see him moving on. I'm not panicking about it, but I thought I'd bring it in because actually Spurs are getting closer to getting the window completed. And you know, Lo Celso is another one of those cogs that needs to be fixed out. Really just worried about exactly what derailed us last year. Defenders. I think, to be honest, mate, injuries derailed us last year. That's our biggest issue. Been living out there for years, right next to Sporting Stadium. Very nice, Martin. Well, you bloody enjoy that sunshine. You bloody enjoy it. Right, I want to talk about these Ornstein quotes because they're fascinating quotes, in my opinion, because he was talking on the Sky Sports Football podcast, right? And it was, you know, they asked him a question. It was him, Dharmesh Chef, saying, you know, who do you think has had, you know, a really good window? And Ornstein's first answer was Spurs. And he sort of went into it and saying, you know, Spurs have been very busy, but they got a lot of things done very, very early. They've been very quiet in regards to not letting sort of out of sight what they're trying to do, but not letting anyone in on what they're trying to do, which I did agree with quite a bit because as a content creator, yes, it's a bit more difficult when there's, you know, a lot less news coming in about, oh, Spurs are interested in that guy, Spurs are pursuing that guy and this guy and that guy. Yes, it makes it a bit more difficult, but as a fan, yeah, then it makes me more excited that, you know, we are actually working with some competency, that we're not trying to let other teams swoop in on our deals. We've had that so many times happen to us. At least now we're trying to be all competent and not allowing teams to come in and steal a march on us. So I was interested in these quotes, and I'd love to know what you guys think, because he'd said, you know, like I said, we'd acted quickly, we'd acted stealthily by not letting teams jump in on our deals. You know, he went on to say they had to get rid of a lot of players. They were very shrewd in some of their moves as well. He really talked up the Archie Gray deal and said that what such a great deal that was for Spurs. Obviously, he was one that broke the Brentford and Archie Gray news anyway. He was the guy that said that, you know, he's going to Brentford, and then lo and behold, Spurs have gone in and stole a march right at the end, which I end up thinking that's going to be one hell of a great deal for Spurs. You know, all in all, it's a deal that costs us £30 million. I think he's going to end up being worth way more than that. Famous last words, but I really do think he will be. So what do we reckon? Do we reckon Johan, ignore my thumbs up, Johan Lang has had a good window? Or do you think we've had an all right window? Or do you think we've had a bad window? I want to know your thoughts, Vince. Tell me as to why as well. If you want to say good for these reasons, bad for these reasons, all right for these reasons, by all means, do tell me. I think Spurs have had a good window. Outgoings wise, so much had to be done, which we have done. And we've got a couple of players left to do, but I'm not concerned. I think they'll get done. You weren't going to get everyone done within a month. This isn't FIFA. This isn't Football Manager. These things do take weeks and months. Brought in some decent revenue this summer with Skippy and Emerson, and the Højbjerg deal will count, and Parrott, you know, Roden, you know, clearing off a lot of wages. All those things are very, very good. When it comes to the incomings, I said, you know, if you think, and someone actually corrected me, because I said, well, you know, we've had Bergvall, who looks a really solid player. You got Gray, who I'm really, really excited to buy. You've got Slanky. When we needed a number 9, we then went and got a number 9, and people then go, yeah, but he's not Harry Kane. I'm like, yeah. Ironically, Harry Kane's the best striker in the world, in my opinion. So yeah, we're not going to get Harry Kane. But then someone went, well, what about Odegaard? And I was like, that's a good point, actually. I completely, for some reason, forgotten about Odegaard, even though what I saw of him against Everton, I really, really liked. If we were to go and get a guy that can play a left back or a left centre back, then for me, I'm sitting there going, actually, that's a good window. Yeah, maybe it's not the window maybe that I was hoping for, and I was hoping for an Eze and people like that, but I think I've sort of jumped off. I've come off that ledge. I've come off the edge of that cliff and sort of sat down and gone, actually, it's not been as bad as we all think. You know, even Sonia, how are you? Haven't heard a peep about Slanky all week. Has he even trained? Well, we haven't heard anything because we've got the press conference, I assume, tomorrow. Europa League draw tomorrow, midday, 12 p.m. UK time. I will be live for it, okay? And we'll be doing reactions to it and everything like that. So please come in and jump in and enjoy it with us. What else are we doing? Preview either being recorded tomorrow and released on Saturday morning, or it will be live Saturday morning ahead of the Newcastle game on Sunday afternoon. So that's coming as well. So we'll wait to see what Ange says tomorrow in the press conference to know where we're going to be come Sunday for game day. We'll see about Bentancur. We'll see about Solanke. We'll get someone for the transfer logo. Trust me, it might be Gibbs White. I can't see it, mate. I can't see it. Not for the money they're going to want. I think Betis are totally broke. Only got 5 million for Fekir. Yeah, but then the thing is, you can get around those sort of deals. You can be clever with those sort of deals and how you structure them. To work for both teams. We should go for Gibbs White. Gibbs White's a topic, isn't it, this afternoon? All right, outgoing's great. Incoming, we could do a bit more. I genuinely think a left back, a left centre back. I think I'd probably sit there and go, yeah, all right. I'm not. I don't think that would have been that bad. I'm sort of sitting there going, if I summed up the window right now, I would say I'm probably about a 7 out of 10 with everything. That's not just incomings, outgoings. I'm talking about everything. A 7 out of 10. I think a left-sided defender, be it a left back or a left centre back, would have me about an 8. Because you've upgraded the midfield with Bergvall and Gray coming in my opinion. You've got a really exciting winger in Odegaard. You've got a new number 9 that you spent £65 million on. You go and get yourself another defender that you're strengthening up that left side of the defence. Spence is going to be featuring this year. So you didn't end up going to buy a right back, even though we were touted to get one. I don't think that's all that bad, personally. I think with context, it's not too bad. I think when you look at it on paper, people go, oh, we could have signed 1 or 2 more. But then obviously with squad restrictions, we were never going to buy 7 or 8 players, spend 250 plus million. It was never going to happen, If this is it, it's okay. Window, we need to still have the left-sided cover. Yeah, I would agree. We still need a left-sided cover, personally. Like I've always said, if it had to be one exact position for me, left back, that would be the position I want to go for. It's been underwhelming, great outgoings, but if we don't get one in tomorrow, then it's 6 out of 10, still gaps in the squad. Yeah, I think maybe I'm probably about a 7. I'm probably 1 number ahead of you, Martin. If there was one more signing, who would you fancy? Well, I like Patrick Dorgu for left back. I like Patrick Dorgu at left back personally. Obviously, look, if I was being a little bit more unrealistic, yeah, I would talk about the Hincappies and people like that. But realistic wise, then yeah, maybe a Dorgu for left back. Who would you fancy, Benjamin? Benjamin Gallagher. By any chance you're trying to get yourself Oasis tickets? Brian Hill scores for Girona. Yes, he did. He did. Scored in the first half. Good on him. Brian. If you know, you know. Only 24 hours left. 28 hours left. 28 hours left? No. I think it shuts at 11, doesn't it? Yeah, 20. Yeah, I think I'm right. Hey, MVR, mate, how are you? We need to sell Solanke. Give over. I would say 7 out of 10. I think some people don't realize how good Archie Gray will be, so judging it poorly. Yeah, I just think they're looking at as, 18 and 19-year-olds. They're young. How are they going to help us now? Whereas, actual fact, they are going to help us now. Odegaard, in theory, is a Brian Hill replacement or a Mana Solomon replacement for one of those. You weren't going to replace both because of squad restrictions, unless one of them was going to be Marcus Edwards. Kulu's going to be replacing Lo Celso. Bergvall and Gray replace Højbjerg and Skip. That's an upgrade for me. That's an upgraded midfield. Odegaard over the 2 wingers for me, upgrade. Solanke playing a striker with Sonny out left, that's an upgrade. So it has been upgrades if you put it all into context. Tar still hasn't gone to Bayern yet. No, he hasn't. He's not coming to us, though. Solanke, Odegaard, Gray, Bergvall, Spence. There is potential for all these players to make significant contributions to the first team football. I agree. I think, we were going to go into the summer needing a right back. That was the whole thing. We were going to sell Spence. We were going to sell Emerson. We were going to need to buy a right back. Now, Spence obviously then went off into pre-season, showed up and showed out and showed everyone what he's all about. You're welcome. The club probably went, actually, okay, well, we don't need a right back. He's also versatile. He can play a little bit of left back. So yeah, maybe we don't need a right back now. And I'm Archie Gray can fill in at right back as well. So I'm all for that. This window really needs to be judged in 2 years' time. Could be a 9 out of 10. Yeah. Well, I mean, you look at last summer. You sign Mickey van der Ven, starting centre half, brilliant. You sign a new keeper in Vicario, starting keeper. He's been really good, brilliant, right? Great additions. Dragic in at January. Let's see. Werner, iffy. Johnson, this is all about this season, that signing. Let's see what he's got this season. Statistically wise, looked half decent. Had more assists than some of the best playmakers in the Premier League. And also, you know, I'm really hopeful of the system that Ange has and how these guys are going to play into it going forward. I'm always really excited to watch Spurs play. We need at least 2 defender, 1 winger, that sort. We won't be getting 3 players in. We have 2 players for each position, apart from left centre back and left back, depending on where you put Davies. 1 more player is all we need. Yeah, I think 1 more player is a realistic target. You know, Paul O'Keefe saying 1 more. Romano saying they're still working on deals. So by the sounds of things, we're still active. If we can get them done, you know. Big up, mate. Hopefully, Real Betis sign Lo Celso today or tomorrow. I don't think they'll get him today, but hopefully, a little cheeky here we go tomorrow. Little early doors one as well. Spain are an hour ahead of us. They're at 8 p.m. right now. So, little here we go early morning. That'd be lovely. Get a little here we go later into the day for Spurs signing someone. Let me cook. Outgoings out of 10, incoming 5 out of 10. No proper starter that improves our first 11. We need to have Vitotti's only future prospects, so it's average window. 65 million, Dominic Solanke. I'm confused how he's not a person that improves our first 11 with Son moving out to left wing. So that improves the left wing, and that in turn will improve the striker. Gibbs White Eze would be the best way to close. Well, I mean, look, it'd be lovely, but I don't see it. And remember, when we signed Vicario, lots of people were upset we didn't get Ray. It turned out good, so it might be the same again with the likes of getting Odebear instead of Eze or Gray instead. Well, look, I love Vicario. I think he's a great keeper. You know, I think he gets a bad rap because, you know, of the amount of times he gets fouled at corners and things like that. I like Vicario. I've got no issues. And also, he was a great valued signing as well. Just because he's not 70 million keeper Kepa from Chelsea doesn't mean he's a bad keeper. You know, we signed Destiny Udogie for 13 million. The guy's the best left back in the Premier League, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So it's not always about what the value is. It's about who and how they play, you know? Look at the players that developed under Ange. You know, I can't wait for Archie Gray and Bergwijn to keep getting minutes. I love what I see from those two. I think they're going to be fantastic. Let's bring Emerson back. You give over. What's your thoughts about Johan Bakayoko? I like him, but I don't think his quotes would have really done much for Ange. Brownhill for 5 million. I saw that report about Brownhill. I sort of took no notice of it because I don't see why that would make any sense for Spurs. Just confirmed Fabrizio Romano, Tottenham team to watch for late in this window. Oh yeah, we know we're team still active this window from incomings and outgoings. Yeah. We do not know what the staff thinks about our young guys can actually do. Might want to keep the squad wingers as is, so Mikey Moore get playing time. I think Mikey Moore will get playing time, Ray. I think he will. Get Brian Hill back. He's just scored a goal. Yeah, Brian Hill cooking up La Liga. Go on, Girona. Actually, do you know, we all sit and joke about this, but him scoring and playing a lot is good for Spurs. Very good for Spurs. So happy days. Got a shout for you guys. Isaac Torre from Lorient, 21 years old, 6'9", left back too. Can you imagine a left back at 6'9"? It feels like pro clubs on FIFA. Pape Sarr, another one we got cheap in a few years, could be considered one of the Premier League's top midfielders. Yeah. Look, I think some people took what I said about Kobe Mainoo the wrong way. Kobe Mainoo is a good player. I just like Pape. I like Pape more because of what we need Pape for. That's all. I love Pape Matar Sarr. I think people give him a bad rap for, maybe a quieter pre-season, but last year, very good for Spurs. It's short-term memory loss when it comes to football fans. We all have it. Pape was very good last season for us, and I think he will only continue to get better. He's so young still. Johnson need balls. Don't know about that. Ange loves Simpson. Johnson does. Will Solanke play versus Newcastle? A bit too early to say, Shaniqua. A bit too early to say. Ange's press conference is tomorrow, lunchtime. I'd say let's just hold off. Well, I say lunchtime. It's about 1 o'clock. We'll hold off until then. And then I'll talk about it in my preview. But it's too hard to say right now. He's a freak real quick too once he gets going. Well, yeah, I mean, he's 6'9". It's probably going to take you a few strides to get going. He's a whole foot taller than me because I'm 5'9". He's a whole foot taller than me. Good Lord. Chiesa signed for Liverpool. Interesting in your opinion. Good signing for them. What they needed. They needed a right winger. They're playing in 4 competitions. Obviously, it's a risk with his injuries. I wonder what his wages are like per week. But in terms of a transfer fee on the face of things, good signing. It's one of those that, I wouldn't have minded at Spurs, but it's not the be all and end all, He needs to be a man. He is a man. I'm missing it there. Do you think we'll get anyone? Tim, one more. I think we get one more, mate. No, don't hold me to that. Don't hold me to that because I don't want to be nailed to the cross on that. All right. But I'm hopeful for one more. Yeah. Andy, have you dyed your beard after the ginger banter this morning? Looking a shade darker. No, it's still a little bit ginger. No, mate. It's just, honestly, if I'm in the sun, any bit of the sun just makes it go a bit ginger. Like the hair, very brown, right? You can tell the beard and the hair are somewhat different. It's a common thing. It's a common thing. One more on deadline day would be good. I agree. I absolutely agree. When is the Europa draw? Gan, tomorrow, 12 p.m. UK time. So I don't know where you are in the world, Gan. So I have to say that. 12 p.m. UK time. Be here on YouTube watching it with me. We're going to react to it live. So we're not going to go live at sort of 11 a.m. like we sometimes do. We're going to be going live at 12 and we're doing the Europa draw. We might start a bit earlier, by the way, and go through some transfer stuff and things like that. But reality, we're there for the Europa draw. All right. Will you be going to many games this season? If work will allow it. And by the way, I don't mean like a boss or anything like that. I just mean busyness. But hopefully I will be, yeah. Iron Brew Beard, I get it too. Don't you start, Martin. Don't you start, all right? Do you know what? After talking about Iron Brew earlier, Martin, I was desperate for an Iron Brew. I haven't had one in years, and I just thought I could do with an Iron Brew. I miss it. I actually like it, so I miss it. I would guarantee to play United at some stage in the league phase. Don't know how that all works yet. Well, no, shouldn't be. Well, hang on a second. That's a great question. I did see something about it. Why is Shane McMahon trending on Twitter? What is going on? We were talking about wrestling earlier. I've just seen Shane McMahon's trending on Twitter. He should never be trending on Twitter. Where is it? No, you don't play your own nations. You don't. So Man United would be a knockout side of things. And then I don't think it's even the first round of knockouts. I think it's just a bit after. Is Europa drawn same time as the Champions League? No, Champions League got drawn this afternoon. Sorry, you got drawn this afternoon. Curious, where do you work? Ooh, can't be telling you that, mate. Can't be telling you that. I don't want people to come up and stalk me. I do things. We do a mixture of things. How about that? We'll just do that. We'll say that. Here comes the money. Oh yeah, here comes the money. Yeah. Well, look, I mean, Champions League draw. To give you an idea, City have got Inter at home, PSG away, Club Brugge at home. I think this is right. Club Brugge at home, Juventus away, Feyenoord at home, Sporting away, Sparta at home. I think Benfica away. I think that's what they've got. So you play 8 games. I think that's right. It doesn't make a ton of sense. I think that's right. Arsenal have got PSG at home, Inter away, Shakhtar at home, Atalanta away, Zagreb, Dinamo Zagreb. We all love those guys. At home, Sporting Lisbon away, I think Monaco at home, and Girona away. That's not an easy draw. I can't lie. That is not an easy draw. Who did Villa get? Villa got Is that? Did they get Bayern Munich? I think they got Bayern Munich at home, Leipzig away, double German draw. Juventus at home, Club Brugge away, Celtic home. Is that Young Boys away? Yeah, Young Boys. Bologna at home, and I think Monaco away. Yeah, that's not an easy draw. That's not an easy draw either. Not sure about that. Jesus. Less sugar than back in the day. Not quite the same. Oh, you ruin it already for me, Martin. I'm keen though. I might get one. Tell you what, I might get one tomorrow. If I remember, I'll try and get one tomorrow. Is Europa draw same? Yeah, it should be the same style. So it's a league system. So it's not a like group stage thing that we normally have. It's just a league system, and then from there's I think 24 teams. Is it 24 teams? First 8 qualify. Next 8 have like a playoff thing. I think it's how it works, and then the bottom 8 are out. That's how it works. Lukey boy, how are you, my friend? Has he joined AEW? Oh, he better not have done. AEW do not need Shane McMahon, but he's trending. Why is he trending? Yeah, I think I just think it's people speculating. It's not. It shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. Sorry. Best away day for a European trip. Well, who could? So Spurs are pot 1, aren't they? Spurs are pot 1, right? Obviously, I don't know. We don't actually know who's going to be in this yet because teams are actually playing right this second. Is it in here that I can have a look at some of the teams? No, it's not. We'll answer that tomorrow. Tottenham Zagreb love a game against London clubs. Yeah, they do. Orsic, my guy. Orsic. Yeah, what's up this Brownhill talk? Is that a wind-up song? Yeah, I think that's a wind-up, personally. 8 games, 4 home, 4 away. Play 2 teams from each pot. Can't play teams in the same league. Boom. Got it. I don't think its room is true. No. Brian Hill to score against Arsenal. We will be there. Yeah, coefficient points. Yeah, agreed. Andy, I'm trying to get tickets for a home match on a Sunday and Europa League home match on a Thursday in either order. Best week ever. That could be pretty damn good. Best week I ever had for football, non-related to Spurs. I went to Italy. I had Roma in the Europa League on a Thursday night at the Olimpico. I was there. 3-3 against, I think it was Austria Vienna. It was Totti's last season. The reason I went on to Italy, by the way, was for football. And then after that, I went to Saturday night, San Siro, AC Milan, Juventus. Belter of a few days of footy. So, yeah, we'll have to see that. But, yeah, 12 o'clock tomorrow. Join me for it. We'll talk about it. We'll chat about the draw. Hang on. Brian Hill's goal. I've just seen it. Now. Oh, good goal from Brian Hill. Good goal. Fair play. All right. Do you know what? I'm not even going to banter it. That was a good goal. Shocking. I know. If you do want to watch it, there you go. There's a link. Go and watch the Brian Hill goal. It's actually a really good goal. I can't believe it. Girona 2-0. Oh, I love that. Hopefully not like Savile and that lot, which is so toxic. Happy with constructive criticism, not toxic content. No, Neville. We are a very positive community, mate. We speak some absolute nonsense. We spoke about wrestling in the first stream. But no, we're a very positive community. We talk football, but we are constructive criticizers, but we are trying to see the positive in things. And he has lots of wonga. Well, don't say I don't treat you. I've got to spend all my money on summer fruit squash, mate. That's why. Good for Hill. Happy for him. Yeah, exactly. You're welcome, Josh. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me this evening. I'm going to let you all go and enjoy the rest of your evenings, enjoy the rest of your afternoons or mornings, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'll be back, obviously, tomorrow morning, talking more football, talking more Spurs, talking who we're going to be playing in that bloody Europa League. Cannot wait for it. I'll see you all tomorrow around about lunchtime, and I'll see you then. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. Peace.